just you just do it, and then you're like, I did it,
make
man.
Sure you
is that at Disneyland?
Yeah.
Soarin'? Mythical Self at mythical.store.
Yeah.
And moments in our lives.
And
that's the golf. That's the. Have you seen her do that?
It's like at 18, trying to do a 3-point turn.
Amber, and you were kissing Anna, and we to sail boats at some point. Flight of personally controlled
point turn.
Yeah.
Right. She got nowhere to be.
Just pick on a red board. I got green shorts on. You're like, Merry Christmas to us. To the elements. The fact that it's possible that we live in it. Ashton Kutcher, the Kutch man, tweeted back at me.
That was a good moment.
But you can't injure you folks. I'm in a blue.
You know,
you want to sail on a night?
And then the ultralight thing.
Yeah. Here's my thing. Okay, well we take a mediator.
We would need.
We take more. I was like, oh yeah, the guy. Once you punch him in the stomach. Remember that?
Got with my packing for the RV trip list. An animal. And I'm like, dang it! Who took their shoes off?
I always think it's airport Wi-Fi is probably a bad idea, and anybody knows anything about Wi-Fi security and.
Was it supposed to be sensual?
No. It's just chock full. Put it on the bucket list.
This is you talking to you, or
this is the inner thoughts
bucket list
of Rhett
secretary
McLaughlin.
to get in touch with you.
And
I don't think they can get in touch with you. You're not secure in Ashton's advice for you?
No.
At that moment.
And in a wink, nobody there. We sail to the island. We document the whole thing. We live off of the land. Overnight.
Oh, if I was open to the whole alphabet.
Did you? Have you ever been on one of those? I'm not offended by seeing someone's penis. It's not what I'm saying.
We're ambivalent on the subject.
Never say you'll never do something. Islands, which is touring places like touring.
I'm not going to talk about.
And I was like, put it on the bucket list, man. Do it. Do it now. Put it.
Someone that like, if a loved one needs.
The thing that frustrates me about tour.
I think your bucket list needs to involve things that don't take more than a day. Creatively, or our ability to work well together and to be friends for as long.
You know what I'm saying? There are these amazing rock islands.
What are we gonna do there?
Safer, ultimately. I can't talk, Bert. And who wants to hear that anyway? Nobody.
I have to come up with my bucket list. You have a bucket list.
It's not very long, but it's something like when it's like ting. In fact, that's part of the series.
What prompted this? Were you like
somehow make it back out with the cheese and crap for all humans? It just seems like
the subreddit shower thought. Just burped, but I stopped talking.
There was no sailing that took place.
You learned some terminology.
And we should do it this week. It's time to go back. You will go with me, and then it got shut down.
It was at the Anger airstrip. We were gonna meet.
You mean you want
in your hair with the creams? I did I?
And we were like, this is the best thing that can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Outside in order to use your phone, but I don't know how you know if somebody's trying.
They're doing their own thing. They're sailing around the world. Whatever.
Like F it.
Somebody.
We just have a feeling that we wouldn't do that, but we also have a feeling that we might.
A lot of Stevie, longest wave in the world. I showed you a YouTube video. Basically, make me on the water. Now, I want to have a shared experience, and I believe that just like a dream. 90s, and they have all these just like we're tapping each other. Entire world, and took these amazing pictures as they went around. Wild Wild Country documentary on Netflix. Highly recommend. I say McLaughlin.
Why?
No, yeah. Northeast breeze. So I didn't learn anything. The guy taught me some things, but at some point, shot in Detroit when she was a baby. Freaking Gulf of Mexico, eye contact.
Oh, I'm with you. I'll do it. From a few months back on the. While surfing, but that's the only thing that can ruin planet.
He like lives in the.
Do it. You do distracting things.
All that to say that we're not going to.
I want to invite you to go over there.
Exposed.
Pale. Be coming up with, and it should have.
Okay.
And
explore. It's a deeper thing. This is what life is about.
We are both having peak moments, and we were peaking.
Words. If somebody uploaded like a full, it's about you.
Sail to an island.
Sail to an island or sail French. It's a burger and then
it's like a let's play of a flight simulator.
What's that? Yes.
And you know what?
Oh, but you've been enjoying it.
What?
Yeah.
What's the date on it?
1 day ago. They're still doing it. That's the thing I love about it. Okay, so this is a rabbit hole episode. We're gonna go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's here and pilot an oil tanker. Like that's how I'm gonna be an enabler. I want
to make a decision when all the momentum is going in one direction.
It's like my Nana trying.
The not too distant future, because I've heard from anyone who's done these, they're like
a little bit. Well, but that. Okay, here we go. Don't know what's on.
This has been on his bucket list.
If a bucket
for
list
a long time. And I let the dream did it in like the 80s, kissing a woman. I'm just saying
you're
kissing, but it looks absolutely people.
Use hashtag
items.
Yeah, it's just like you're sitting on the couch with nothing to do.
I think at least.
I don't think it.
Experience that enough anymore.
Ear biscuits.
Come up with.
No, I'm saying it comes from the bottom up. One day we're like, help us toy with this idea of let's come up with a better.
You catch the wave, I catch the wave. We have left.
An ultralight trike.
Baby, so she doesn't remember. But Mexico, 78 degrees. I'm gonna fly to McDonald's from my house. I owe it to you. And I was like, I'm gonna start watching this movie, and then I'm going because I'm waiting.
I've thought about publishing my packing for an RV
crackers, and I just laid. And these are YouTube videos.
Not just because but it's just indicative of the type. No pun.
Like 2 days late. I was like, whoa.
You were on a 2-day flight?
No, it just happened. Available. You ever thought about that? You ever thought about the times?
It's bound to happen. There's a lot when it comes to bucket lists, like places I want to visit. Like you tend to think you're the
things I like.
Well,
but I tweeted about that, and then blue bathing suit. You're in a green bathing suit.
Can I like the blue.
You got a blue bathing suit. It just blows my mind.
When you come in for a landing, it's like you could come in. It would be a deterrent for people trying to emote.
It's like we're silent. We see each other in the
Show
cafeteria.
our tattoo to each other.
We got to get this. They were shaken up, and so
wow.
The idea around like small. I've been in a sailboat twice. One time it was at Sharon.
Well, this is what I was gonna say because we read one person complained about I don't want the phone in there. So fine, it's not in here.
Yeah. I mean, there was so much penis in this movie. I mean, I was like, whole world turned upside down, and I was like, cheese and crackers. Oh yeah. This bucket list was created on July 28th, 2014.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
And that was
whole. You can just take a ferry from Long Beach and be there. And here's another one. Sail to.
Got to come up with a better name for it though.
Sail.
Idiot.
Palau, P-A-L-A-U, of what you're into. She couldn't believe that this is the kind of thing I was into. It's a book about a dude. There's, again, dude sailing alone around the world.
You like bring this into your house? Kind of like thumbing your nose.
It's been that long, has it? My shirt. I need to adjust my hair.
We also moved your phone out.
Almost all of them. No, no, I'm just saying we should go to different silent retreats or go to different times about it. Again, I don't know anybody's name, but
gosh, this is so good. And then it's like, no, I'm just
different.
Saying, like
we'd have to go tank top. Like one of us would go tank.
Of things. I mean, you can't put things on our list, but you can suggest things. Right now we have a quintuple.
It's not. Most things that are on my bucket list are things that there's got to be some. Picture this moment for 1 second.
Yeah.
You're in a blue bathing suit.
I guess
it could be July. I'm just in a Christmas theme color, and you fly in a supporter. When somebody's got, even though I'm a McLaughlin, we've lost a little bit of the heritage.
There are pictures of us wearing stuff. I'm not watching this movie.
Well,
full nudity would just be lower half frontal.
I watched that. I told you I watched almost particularly funny. I'm not offended by. We see somebody adjust.
I'm sorry,
something.
Guys. We're adjusting all types of things today. Bucket list
are very travel oriented. Like visit.
Be more
no particular order. They're just kind of like Well, no, it does like a. In fact, I think it was. When we were trying to do that original thing, they were like, wait, this is the best. Was that not the best uninhabited? But there's like, they had a company give them that catamaran on a day where there was like a 1 mile per hour vlog, and I put this part of the tour mythicality in my vlog, and it got taken down. I'm on the show.
I think this is a series. I think I didn't write that down from. It was supposed to be
die.
We're not going to.
We've got like the headphones on, and some dude recorded it a long time ago.
I feel like cattle. I can even in the house, like if we're sitting down watching something, like we're in
Polynesia.
And but by the way, because you plug.
But I'm just thinking, that Ashton Kutcher's probably also
an ultralight trike. Is this the most recent one or the first? I know you're right, but I can't not call it airport mode because for some reason I've always done.
To an island. I'm gonna. Yeah. And next we go into airplane mode when we recorded in Ear Biscuit. We go into airplane mode when we. I'm not questioning that. I believe wholeheartedly that
with someone who's well qualified on a glider. I don't.
Amber and
not. You want to sail a little bit. Yeah, had a good burger there once.
They probably got hers. And that
do the parachute. That's crazy.
I think it may be.
Of dim lighting, we're gonna go to bucket list that you will be completing forever.
To my bucket list. Seems
Tucker got an ultralight.
It seems so fun. Whenever
I wonder what it would feel like. You know, you're turning and nothing's happening.
Do you think that if we,
I want to talk about planet Earth
from many people, like
that makes me feel better.
I feel like I don't. Good morning. Click the playlist on the left,
and don't forget to click the circular icon. Realize that he's parachuting, and when you come in, you can go there. We're only talking about my kids.
And I'm on the world YouTube channel. Look that up, Jacob. Here's another one you'll be really.
We can talk about this. Harness yours. I'm like a bucket.
And again, this is probably being in LA for 7 years. But my wife, that scene.
Like, it's like it now, but it's I'm gonna open. We can analyze it into the ground. Airport Wi-Fi security expert, because we wanted to make sure that we stay. Ashton Kutcher,
stay in. And one of the reasons is because my wife is worried about me dying easily.
Is that on there?
No.
I have Ashton.
Oregon. We've already established who we're gonna take.
Right. You're on a slippery slope. Ultralight trike is the
nuclear lake. And there was no
title to the F bucket lists.
But first, we're going to let you know that you can get links.
Ooh, are they updated inside?
I think we did a misleading thumbnail.
Right.
The general sentiment.
Well, okay, fine. I'm not invited. I get it.
Cool islands in 5 to 6 days. I think we gotta commit 2 months. Wave that a couple of dads on paddle boards could. We just sail to an island
for 5 to 6 days. Yes.
We're not gonna get to any.
That one's we're working on something like that.
But it's not that specific.
In the air.
I think I probably saw a video. Myth.
There should be some food-related thing.
Usually you have song performance.
Oh.
It may be taken down.
Oh. Letting my
way with this.
My pain test. How else? Keep
this
going.
one, you're like a list of pale.
You can get all types of stuff. We just
on Twitter and talking about the beef that we have with Weezer. They're basically in a parachute that's a wing. Kissing her.
That crazy. Or you know what I'm saying?
Definitely
people attacking people away. But when you would take a crap, it would run
on the shoulder and showing the bucket of cheese.
And shoved it down in the couch.
I know you guys don't like strong. And I was like, all right. That YouTube people, such as, I have many questions about Phone Satchel. Number one is what, and then there are the rest of the Channel Islands that are, welcome to Ear Biscuit, visually and funny together, a fan of Workaholic, or a movie or something where there was one flying. And I think it'll be enough to get us started. And I think if I had to be like, what verified people are interested in.
The mind meld that I think we experienced.
Kill. And you go down.
Rehashing shared experiences.
Everything except the silent retreat. Because the silent retreat's about
be silent.
What it is, Australian couple YouTube sailor. I haven't gotten to yet.
That it's an easy way to just.
Do what it has a motor.
I don't think it's that much different.
The people that I've talked to ran that big sailboat because they went out
into the castle, but I have to assume that they've been retrofitted in.
For my wife was in a small aircraft plane crash. For us, you got these guys who went and made this show, and they're really sail to an island where there's back. They lost power and ended up.
I'll put on my bucket list. Common
smell?
Yeah. and then you just cap it back up with a shoe or send that person out of the room.
But and I don't want to do a month until, you know. Again.
We got time.
Yeah, number one.
Wing made out of what appears to be Ziploc bags with,
who knows, 3 years from now we're telling you to put your phones in a satchel, and you're like, you remember that ear biscuit where you bring their phones? It seems so thing we had ever experienced. For me it was, not looking at you while we're dads.
Too big.
I don't want to die.
We're going to Chicama.
You go to Chicama and you just
How long are you going to be there?
It doesn't say. I think the quintuple Whopper probably doesn't.
Nope.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm not talking about an insider sign up for this.
Oh.
So I don't know what.
And it's a long fall.
Okay, well let me take you to another exactly what the plans are at this point.
But we're I did it. So
that's good.
Land yacht. On this, we're gonna read it, and then it's just.
In fact, we should put this.
You're adding something
this on the list.
To the bucket list right now.
Surf, cheese, and crackers. And the kids were like, "Dad, go get the cheese and crackers." And Dad, me, I'm not recommending it. Just the way it all came together is surf, or we just go to Texas, which is closer. Get an oil,
and then you're gonna be turning a guy down. I mean, you gotta before you. We just want
you.
Give
to us a freaking break. Hit the ground in a bundle of fabric.
My instincts tell me. Which is I want to ride a horse.
Initially, the people on the SUPs, and then
you
said,
did, yeah.
Really easy to attain bucket list.
Play cards in the smoking room.
I want to be able to experience this castle as if I am associated with the tour that was handling it.
Yeah.
Grand.
Stay in a hole overnight. Something.
But
taking a tour or something is not a bucket list thing. Outdoorsy stuff, which is it's interesting that your bucket list kind of gravitates toward.
Old adage is if you work in comedy, you watch drama. I also have a
movie that
indicative
has other things that I don't know if I want.
I just wasn't expecting
to subscribe.
La Vagabond. How recent is the most recent video?
Kayak off the or maybe it will. Oh, I just
don't even know what I just had. Follow the links in the description to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or anywhere. Here's what I totally agree with the Biltmore house. And they like stopped at all these little islands. Islands, I love islands. And
I'm just saying, like the dolphin moment.
Again,
we decided not to go there.
You could see French Polynesia.
Okay, yeah.
You know, where I've enjoyed something and then I'm like, I'm adding that to the things I like list.
And it brings you even more.
Really going to. Her dad was, her grandfather, her dad's dad was.
List Leech. I'm proud of it.
No, you're like a guy. You said you'd never do that.
That's all you're going to say about it? So you are recommending it?
I am not recommending it. No. Me today for a self-image boost.
You need a little pick-me-up. All right, that is not good podcaster form.
Do you know the word you were? Not into. They're both. I know you can get like caught up into the wing and.
Whenever I came out, it'd be like, now, was I crazy or was that?
But you weren't right next to me when it happened.
North Carolina?
The world, I think.
That's what they said, yeah. Because of the 95 corridor.
Yeah.
Where it's like.
I got a green bathing suit.
Yeah.
We've got 2 surfboards. Like, you might be spoiling the surprise for people. That
makes it even better.
That was serendipitous, and it was beautiful. Like, you know what's on my bucket list? You know, eating a triple Whopper.
We go into, if I can recall correctly, a lot of detail.
Recently, traditional people can do time where it is possible to fly like a bird. That is an option.
Survival kit.
The dolphin was. Right. I'm talking. We can engineer these situations. It's really the recall of the dream that makes the dream.
Interested though.
Very motivated. Okay.
You're gonna do these one at a comedic.
It was supposed to be comedic, and I think I did. There was one moment when I laughed during that.
Like I don't know what happens at a silent retreat. Maybe man. It's like would you go on an unpowered? And it, I mean, you might think he's on a fan boat in the Everglades until you're 3-wheeled lawn chair
a symbol or like a extra big thumbs up or something. And he's okay. Here's a good. Here's a, you know, there's that we don't
different. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm just not wearing pants today.
You should go there at some point.
Was it like
is this couple that sailed around the outpost and you can go camping and there's caves.
Yeah, it's like when you go north to
kayak. We're gonna kayak. Kayak the Rock Islands.
We should
bigger one that's more updated.
The older one that didn't have that much to it. Horse at a gallop.
and not just talking about
That can be something we put on a list so that we can. We'll be interested in
that. They started a couple of years ago, and it's the kind of thing that you think,
Oh,
well, you know,
a fixed.
and I'm like, we got to go there. So I saw that in a picture, and I was like, we got to go there, and we went and we.
Rhett created a bucket list, and I could just do all those years ago. It hasn't changed.
Oh, selling a little fat to the list at this time. The thing
Which is again another argument for the other TBD.
Well, I think
them browse.
if they take their shoes off inside, it's like, what is wrong? What is that?
All of a
smell?
sudden, we're watching Planet Earth 2, and I'm smelling.
You know, I don't know if I've ever told this to it, but if we were to tell people that they couldn't rim the king for a night, and
You can do
California Adventure,
Yeah. Pull from it.
yeah, well, that's what's about to happen.
Like if your bucket runneth up parachute channel,
Mm-hmm.
I fully.
Trading
Did you reply?
situations. Google, and then you'll be like, yep, got to do that. That looks incredible. You got to get that airport Wi-Fi. You know what? It's soaring, but
I can't remember. Did we ask for them to be interested?
Oh.
Then I'll get in there.
who saw the magazine cover of this?
Hickama.
Hickama? That probably might be right. The kind of thing that can be arranged really easy.
An Evernote, a personal Evernote, because I got the.
What about us making eye contact? Business that you can kind of living in the first place, right?
Okay.
Just that. Look at this thing.
That's a big look.
No.
Uncharted territory, unknown zones of. Couldn't have made it more weird.
Kissing Amber in the way that I was kissing her at Betsy.
Putting your phone in airport mode. That's right.
Well, I'm putting my phone in airplane.
Is attainable. Why is that a point of criticality for the
No, what you should be there trying not to vomit the entire time.
the rest of the time?
If the McLaughlins could only see.
Only things that have contributed to the list are things involving a saddle. So I'm thinking from the mugs or style. What did I say? It was like.
Cast that another one of my.
I mean, was it in the last 6 months or was it?
So there were. I just feel like I'm part of a tour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like January 14th, 2017. What? This has.
You know, when we were in Amsterdam a little over a year ago,
Yeah.
like there's the Notes app, Evernote. We were both big in the guy.
No. It was the Biltmore tour twice. One time at Christmas. I don't want to start with a month. Very thick
You gotta
dry
sell
suit.
me, man.
You were.
I would.
All
do
you
this.
have to do is
How big is this cake?
talk about. And that could be flying while someone else is in control too. The if you go up to the Channel Islands,
other
the
islands.
north, the uninhabited.
We really wanted to do it.
I don't know what the hookup was.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the way back to this idea,
But well, here's the thing
it's like being a bird.
of each other, but you can't speak, and then you're like, man,
The Workaholics guys movies.
yeah.
As
As long as we have, I'm
to an island.
What I'd like to introduce you to have the key, so you can't.
There's like these levels of conscious.
See below the desk you won't see.
I'll move out of water sports.
Link this week at the round table. Our fledgling LA visits. We had a meeting with on Good Mythical Morning.
No, it's not. I can't do it.
Then we just wouldn't stand up. We never go shirtless. We never be full.
We can't. We can't talk up to saddle.
I can't take it everywhere.
I
I can't go around on like a hobby horse.
I want you to be.
Tucker driving a cult
Well,
because of that wild.
Rivers is going on his month-long silent retreat.
Knows that your family.
But I read the
the riding a mule down to the bottom of the Grand
small
Canyon
aircraft and the danger that comes with small aircraft.
to end your life by accident, man.
Well,
Days when you're making eye contact and we powered glider like jump off the side of a mountain.
night.
He's typing.
Okay. Was the peak of my existence up to that point, right? I mean, I was like, so while you'd want to talk about it, I think it would be distracting to be can do it, and I think he actually is one of the comedians who
That sounds right. Yeah.
did it.
Chris Clay asks,
One that's just the trike.
so you're not gonna
But anyway, Rivers Cuomo, we were told at some point.
that people would leak part of the show and that it might
And again, I see these things in pictures, right?
and that would create a lot of disease.
In the order that I added them. Fly an ultralight trike. But
Yeah.
What did I say I never do?
Something. And
around the bay, and man, they
There
just
you
keep
go.
coming, don't they?
talk about
Into SUP next to icebergs.
Oh.
And you're like, yeah, and this, and you fill in the details, and
Yeah.
so you kind of develop this picture of your. There is something. There's like a breakthrough that can happen in that time of our lives to this. 4 p.m.
Right. So 12 years earlier, you were.
Most recently added.
I think one of my favorite things about our friendship is that
Not operated by me.
a friendship. I didn't want to call it a bucket list.
I already have one.
I started to create it. That will be the last thing on your
A
bucket.
book that
I'm thinking more plumbing. When I went to that,
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be.
I'm your conscience.
Here, no.
It helps me to narrow it down. That's why all my kids their names start with L.
You and me could get a.
Just back at him.
I like that. That's good technique.
Yeah, I'm working on it inside. Now, is it, or maybe I came up with it.
I told you it was a great idea.
Well, thank you.
No,
and you lean forward and you fall off.
No, you're
We're
making it.
you gotta wait for
You're
the next
ruining it.
tanker!
Think of to Detroit, like immediately. Like, let's get in the plane.
You want to have some pictures?
Sailing, man. They're living their life. They're freaking living a bucket list. Link, I'm gonna have a saddle for you to sit in.
Everywhere.
No, people say our standards are sliding year by year. So who knows? By the time we're 60, we'll be just. Never say never. McDonald's, point. They're gonna get tired of.
I want to steer an oil tanker.
I don't think that's the fun part, though.
Yeah. And then I fall off.
It's the whole event worth. Yeah. Tucker got.
Yeah, GOTT.
Yeah. No, just here.
Oh, at each other.
And then we looked at each other, and I was like, "There's my boy. He's doing it too."
On afterward. You know it. I think that's probably.
And then he pointed right in the bucket.
I've got like a couple of different apps that your face lights up. You pull out your phone. You gotta think about it.
Well, I'm about to shout somebody else out.
All of your list.
Well, I also added bucket tattoo. Arranged on the day, and we just do them.
Reminded of your mental bucket list and how you.
Which Bora Bora absolutely insane. And
Personal Evernote. I've got the creative Evernote, and then I've.
Starts with an F. Like that would be like a good web series. In a couple hours. You know, it was like a man who was operating it, and
You charge the thing you got me watching.
Well, here, wave.
They're just like lounging.
I mean, you can like surf the web and make a YouTube series. The inaugural flight scheduled.
Thoughts. Which is kind of like bucket list is just to be a friend.
Of like, you want two naked dudes, and you'll have to deal with it.
But it'll be.
Think that I was a little distracted by the amount of penis and in general.
It had a moat.
Yeah.
While I was talking.
But you didn't stop. You just kept talking, which I like. You just.
You weren't going to sail around everywhere.
Look at these. Oh, and you know what?
They
had
got a drone.
It says she doesn't want me to just. I don't know McDonald's, and then he's got a bunch of videos.
Ooh, bucket list.
And their feet. It's horrible.
Yep.
I don't know what they do.
I was definitely better more have lists and notes in them.
That was a prosthetic.
What?
That happened in the movie. Yes.
At a gallop. I want to do no loser Palm Springs situation. And it wasn't a lot to it up there. It was just a fortress, you know.
Bird.
I'm shocked that it's on your list now. I do tanker, and you're behind one tanker. What? You're in front of the. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer.
Amazing.
Yeah,
what was
you're
his
right.
name?
You're right.
What was his name?
I can't remember the guy who told. The kids can't come. We can't get all the. We could get the kids in the kayak, but I wanted to do a stand-up paddleboard. I really
took the tour or whatever, but there was what I thought, and I may have added that. Wind in your face flight.
Okay.
It is one of my dreams. You know what we need to do? An enabler. And that's the one that I took a picture of. Shout out to Red MC on Instagram. I put a photo.
That and you can pick up where you left off and keep surfing. But
there's always another tanker.
To send, and even when it comes to like vacation stuff. Now, I'm just gonna.
When we went to Amsterdam, sorry, I had to say that. You can't just do a weekend. It won't true or not, but I think one of the reasons that we do have certain details. I actually like at one point I looked up like the.
You're into really nothing.
Well,
there's nothing to talk about except in your own mind. But
I do think that this.
Maybe I'm just.
That's all that really matters, though, isn't it?
Inspire something that's going on my bucket list, which I have to reach us. I mean, it's easy to reach us. But we actually didn't think about spoiling people's experience when we're there.
Well, but there's also available.
To watch more Ear Biscuits, click on the playlist on the right.
To watch more of our daily show, Good Mythical, not the way that it all. Yeah.
But it didn't.
But see, if we leave now, Planet Earth 2.
Oh no, don't want to talk about it now. On that.
You know, one time I tweeted about the problem with what I just raised is cheeses. I do.
When you finally broke the seal on creating a bucket list, this was the idea that did it. Like, concert or comedy show or some sort of venue they've got
for men.
That's what I'm getting at. But
Wave. Ikema? Yeah. Okay. I don't know how I get you your name.
You should have ride a horse at a gallop. A one-night camping situation, that would be
about your information. That whole book, that's like 100 years old, and it's just a crazy tale of adventure. But this is like a couple of the
experience.
And there's these youth
silent retreat.
Yeah.
You get if you bail, there's another one. There's another
Okay, we'll take Morgan.
Oh gosh.
All right, I got more specific.
The people, the things. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
That's this. I've immediately.
If you made the bonehead move of like introduced being completely naked.
Oh.
That's it, man. You got to put a bucket tattoo over that thing.
Sit on my deltoid. More about that, and I'm like, yep.
No, because I got to the tweet.
But it's just like, and I'll get a kick out of it, but and then you go to you too can wear the stuff if you purchase it. I like.
That is it. I mean, that's an
I tend to think about vacation.
You show them to each other.
Like just a tandem ride with this with a
when I watch comedies, I'm watching them like as a student.
Yeah. You thought, well, on the Good Mythical Morning channel.
Because and I still haven't been there. We love Steve Feet. Oh yeah, my boys. Gosh. Man. Betsy's house. What was that? Was
Betsy,
that
yeah.
Betsy's house. Betsy, but my wife. Yeah. I the Pacific Ocean.
You're doing thumbs up and you're looking at tattoos. A good reason to take it down, not just a little bit.
Like, man, you really let that dream fly away. No pun intended. It is the longest wave in the world. It's this super mellow. I used to think people were nuts when they talked about. Yeah, so I was probably enjoying something.
And you were reminded.
Incidentally, we've not. I saw a few of you were interacting. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll ride a horse at a gallop right now. Things that can be a good name.
Yeah, and or you can suggest the types.
Come and join me. To watch and this is one of those things that as a father I don't want to go away for a month. Now I'm like, when am I going to go on my month-long silent retreat?
Every time then I've thought about a bucket list. I want to go to a show just to experience this.
Family went out there and it was like we paid for like 1 hour of sailing.
Let's make sure we don't leave anything out.
Go to those huts on the wall.
I can finish that person's sandwiches. I know what they're thinking.
Pictures, it's incredible.
I'm sure the pictures are better than my family that definitely have that.
All the kids got changed to CH in my Evernote. You don't miss an episode.
When you said full frontal nudity, I was just saying from the waist down, like newscaster nudity.
We can
hours and hours, and in my favorite things list.
Things I like
list.
Yeah, Polynesia.
Okay. There's stuff to wear to rep your team. That's us. That pocket. Now that you put your phone in.
They're taking people out. Then the other one would do midriff. The other guy would do midriff.
No.
It's just, it was kind of unexpected. And also like, really? Well, when I saw it, thing is, there's no way.
Fly, but then you're waiting for the tank.
And it's more about solitude and like process and like looking.
The largest.
Oh, so Chickama, not Hickama. Coming to that quadruple whopper that we had that one time.
Helicopter tour like we both done, and I did recently, but in fact, your experience.
I group this together with Sail French Pilot.
Longest wave in Peru, I bet if you strapped to the intended to the type of knots, ultra.
He was saying that it was an unsecured network.
Ashton knows you're insecure. Like, put your shoes back on, boy.
But it is an interesting. Tucker got
with 2 T's.
He's got one of these things, and it just mode.
Well, I like to just preemptively
store. That's ultralight. I mean, look at how fun that is.
It's just a dude and that type of conversation.
Thanks for being your mythical best. I don't typically choose to watch comedy movies. You know this.
I'll do it right now.
Yeah, right.
It's called the RV.
Oh gosh. Yes. I don't know how you say it. CHICAMA, Peru. It's the
Dude, you have too much life to live for.
saying.
If a man has got to burp during his, so
That would be really exciting.
I'm not
going to
feel inferior just because I'm gonna.
Below is like the.
Are our wives there? Because you know they're not there.
No, this is like after the kid.
As you know, my shoes have been off in the past. Well, they've been off ever since then.
But I think we had
now my son.
What's the official name?
Grand Canyon.
I like there would be a rebellion. It would be a revolt. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris Rock that were there's a saddle.
That's not past.
It was small.
And I'm.
That's a great idea. And
I was gonna go with you.
You were gonna go
overnight. The oil tanker. I'm like, Mary, we talked about this. Christmas.
Qualified.
We need some more food on it.
Okay.
We're too outdoors oriented. It doesn't really list.
I'm sure there'd be an interested audience. Pretty small, but somebody's interested.
Very. Start going through these things. So my long-term bucket list.
Worth having. You know what I'm saying? Like, Howard parachutes, and he takes a camera up.
Here, I want to invite you to.
He went down below, and like immediately when I got down,
We did have this conversation, and we decided not to say anything.
Game over, man. That retreat. And I've taken the
You want to sleep over.
and I think that they're all very funny. And you burped through it. Nobody remembers. I haven't done much by way of getting ready for this, but I have a book. I have one who found the thing,
Commandeer an oil
and you
tanker.
absolutely love it. And you're the one who's like, in fact, we should do it. The internet to do that, doesn't it?
Well, when we
Shot. It's about you as an individual.
Right.
It's about getting to some.
punch him in the stomach.
You poked him in the stomach with a pencil or something.
A couple weeks back. Can you write that down on your own?
Deeper layer of the onion of yourself that we just have.
Down a hole into the moat on the outside of the castle. Feel that at the time, and I think I've done it. Been there, done that.
Okay.
I'll keep thinking about it.
Is when something
When
does happen to your phone.
When it's not silenced.
But the other, because then I'm in New York. What do I like here? Oh, let's look at the
Quintuple Big Mac.
Tell you to put your phones in a satchel. But here,
Invited to this.
no, but listen, I don't know. We could
I mean,
both go and make a lot of spend the night at a castle.
Is there anything else you want to add to your bucket list before we put the lid on it?
On Good Mythical Morning?
Yeah, that was it.
Where else podcasts are past.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Pleasure. It's like we're eating at this restaurant.
so personally involved in the gotta get better. Let me see if I can do that at Disney. Airport Wi-Fi, the free. Well,
'Cause
that's the F-it list, man. And I saw Ashton Kutcher link to the flight. Yeah.
If you wait too late, then you might have stink feet. Basically signing up to go on like a.
Because I've enjoyed his videos. Who has one of these?
Have one. I have one that's called.
When I talk about my ancestors,
Free. I mean, one episode will be like, I've taken.
somebody already's carrying a bucket.
Oh,
It's not that. So that's still going to be on the. It'll give you some ideas.
And I do think, kind of crazy yet perfect. I think it was, and it was cool. You could walk around on the second floor. Sometimes I'll take my shoes off.
Depends
on
on
a
the
long
little.
flight. You don't. I pulled the thing out and then I blew in the envelope for just because.
I think it may be safer. You're already parachuting.
We can.
What can go wrong? Disneyland, because
as well as some other mythical crew members.
in the cave,
Santa Barbara, you can see them out there as you're going up.
we look at each other, make eye contact. I kind of figured. Remembering, it's the act of remembering that.
Which is something that you know what they say.
That kind of thing. At that point, it's like no. This is not what I want. What I want, but doing them.
Well,
I was just throwing
giving
it out
each
there.
other a tandem thumbs up. I think, or was it?
I don't know. I didn't find those moments. That's all I could say. I still think the guys are very funny. I want more.
It's not a sixth sense. It's not something magical. We've spent
Equestrian Center.
easy
Right. When it's difficult.
in this envelope. Well, it's sealed tight. We're getting close to
We're
that.
gonna get close to the tattoo.
Get my shoes off. I just want you to know. My shoes are off too because I have not done it.
But
And going back to that
maybe
spot,
one of us needs to be at organizing these things.
it's not going to
No.
time.
Yeah. Maybe like HVAC.
Definitely. I mean, you know what? We're gonna speak at you again next week. Chris Clay, thank you for asking the bucket list question. I hope you weren't spoil other people's experience for Orlando really hard if you don't watch out.
But so you know the awesome boat.
But someone who can, because when you come back into
there's a book called Sailing.
that would be irresponsible.
And then the wives they've got their own thing.
You know, before Good Mythical Morning existed.
Watch this movie and I'll just get the little bit of it. But she was making it just get in the bucket.
One day you're gonna go out and look in your bucket and you're gonna see it's empty because I like slurped everything.
Retry.
So ultra, what's he gonna serve?
Just powered parachute.
So maybe the key to our
gotta get that, and then we got it.
So good idea. Didn't have to waste my energy. I could just.
Could have just pulled back a little bit.
Turtle could have gone in the shell. Sometimes you gotta watch a video.
I do want to do a week-long one, and I want to do a week-long in the experience there. But when you start releasing entire performances of songs, or that
developing this theory that I do think that
actually saw some people tweet, "Hey, I did a vlog."
Yeah,
and
shorts. And he looks
and holes in the ground.
Did that, but he would do it in order to get the thing out. But I already had
two that I took the tour of. Or are you talking about the big? And people have mixed feelings about that. Maybe it may seem a little came together with Workaholics. And then we rented a sailboat in the Santa Monica Bay.
Weeks of our lives, when you add it all up, just the pomade.
Yeah, pomades.
Guy. Yeah. On a fixed wing ultralight.
But are you in? Yeah, I think it's been over a year since I updated this. I gotta get on this bucket list.
Wow.
Pointed me towards some app that like Cisco Systems.
Store, and there's experiment scenario. Would you put these things on your list? You can.
And let's go. Like what are they called?
Sailing La Vagabond.
Sailing. I mean,
what's it called? Do you remember?
Phone Satchel sounds good enough.
That's our version. We're sitting here indoors in dim lighting, and
I've talked about before my fascination with them, but there are these
negative.
You wear a
thing. It's way too dangerous.
People just gonna give up on. They're still freaking doing it. Which you've been with me at different times
on your list.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've realized that because we heard you.
Well, we heard one.
Lead us on the friendly conversation. I think we're gonna get it done on the.
Don't use airport Wi-Fi. Incredibly insecure. Or
I like that better than a kayak.
I took a sailing class on a fake lake in North Carolina. Like really good-looking Australians sailing around.
Is to check off 10 to 20 items.
And I gotta say that I picture you down at the Burbank.
I'm really hedging that I'm gonna leech off of your list because if through other people.
True that.
But you can stay there. Link's twisted yet attainable bucket list is the bucket list we should be texting or talking. But the thing that I don't understand is, and you can go out.
I haven't even moved on a planet.
There's more on your bucket list.
Let
reflect the brand on it.
Longest wave in the world at some point about
our meeting with Ashton Kutcher from my eat a quintuple whopper. You're giving them a boat and we've got a boat.
Yeah, they have a boat.
They'll love that.
And at some point physically to your face.
There's other members of my just discussed.
And many of the things that are from my layers have translated.
You can surf. Well, you can make you could probably find one on Etsy.
That wasn't a very
Is it so this can you tell when this list started? Like disappointed that I don't even have one.
But there was just a lot. I mean, I think they could have just pulled back a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Like a Cessna?
When she was up and I was able to sail to an island. Now, trying to show, what did I say? Oh, you might get me instead of bucket list, surf behind a oil tanker. Just science shows that as you revisit something that happened that you basically, so go for a week. Lived here for 7 years, still haven't been. And he'll be like, today I'm gonna fly a list called Thank Great. I mean, like
there's nothing like checking off something. The first time you talked about
and a new kind, full frontal nudity. Good gracious.
Broadly approachable.
No. I'm sure that I want full access. I want to be here for the night. I want to be able to. Sometimes I go in and I click on who's replied to me and I click on verify.
Write that down. Bucket list.
What's a small bucket? What's another name for a small bucket? It's difficult to talk a minute there. It's difficult. It was difficult to talk.
Off Catalina.
Yeah. Yes.
We've talked about that for.
There's not really us doing that.
And I hope you put too much. I don't know. It's just this seems so more Ricky. They wouldn't be named at all.
It just didn't gel in the way that their comedy has for me in the past.
No pun intended.
I think that's the dangerous.
That's not ultra. I mean, our only concern was somebody mentioned something.
Security expert.
Longest is Chicama. The other one is the.
Before I start crossing the tarmac, man. So in the airport.
And then we could like look at each other, make eye contact, and we need pail?
No.
Pail list. No. Underneath this, Jack, you gotta go back to our spot. But
I'll
inward, and then
where you smell the oranges.
Yeah, where it's one of my favorite. It is my favorite ride.
This thing's been sealed up for a while.
Really, really licked it. We can adjust what we want. It's like when you see somebody adjust like there's a motor.
So it's motorized. That's not a glider.
Because I would also even be worth it. You'll get to the point where you're about to enjoy yourself. You're about to break. Yeah. I'm being herded through this thing, and it's like there's ropes and there's doors you can't go through.
I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
An ultralight trike. Let's either make it.
Yeah.
I've thought about creating.
At 10:34.
That's what I was trying to say. Untad, I think is.
Who brought it? Is that I have
to Ashton Cook
be right over it and change it a little bit every time, but it's the act of
uncharted territory.
Yeah.
I need to put my phone in airport mode.
But specifically with asylum, I'm gonna fly to the McDonald's. I'm gonna keep surfing, and surfing is like South Pacific, like right in the middle of, So, Letterman or Johnny Carson? Johnny Carson definitely blew it. When they cut Daniel Stern's penis off, picture this though, Gulf of Mexico.
We split up. We were with our wives.
I went to you can do the stand-up paddleboard as well out there.
Was that
the one castle?
It was more romantic.
Or when you talk about the motor, you talking about the castle that I went to?
It's kind of like in the plane.
You're walking with all these randos, and I don't know if it's Hikama, yeah,
like
surf oil tank. I was like, what? Who? Why? That's the most pretentious thing I've ever heard of. It's something that's just like in her genes. It's part of her family heritage.
That's the great thing about it.
That kind of thing would tell you don't get on a public Wi-Fi if you care.
But you know, there's this thing that if you go to
like deeply held conviction. What was the word you were saying? What was the word that you were saying? Because I want to say the same word. To give people an idea of what you experience.
I mean, he specifically is going to invite you to go on a trip to McDonald's to get a thumbs. I don't think I would do that.
I don't think I would do that, but then we'll just delete this here, Biscuit. How about that? Gulf of Mexico.
Now that you only have one chance at.
We're paddling along. Help! Here comes the oil tanker. Water in Bora Bora.
Well, I'm just going to jump.
A saddle on the wall.
When I worked at IBM, on a wave.
Highly recommend it. I mean, it's amazing. I love it. But you know, I believe
he's also an actor.
He's probably sincere.
To our classic tune that we have always is.
How about the Suck It YouTube channels of people who've sold everything and just have boats, and they.
I'm like, Merry Christmas to us. You're like, what? I can't hear you over. A lot more noise.
That's icebergs and sailing.
I've cheated. I've looked at the rest of the things on your list, and they all seem to be like.
No, I think I'm good right now.
Okay, you're a biscuit. You wouldn't do it. Just think about it for a second.
Well, I
when you take your shoes off.
Really?
I usually don't have that, but
a cake, and she never. It's a cheesy foot to it. I actually had the trip. You know,
out of it.
I do think that you're going to be really into many of these things.
Short term, reasonably achievable, yet totally odd that you would run
things I like. And be like, this man wants to gallop, and they'll be like, is he dying? No, he's just.
It will just tell you that it's happening down there.
It'll just be the idea, just knowing that we're him. And
phone satchel.
I have funny together, and then they went off and they wrote a movie.
Nice if my good buddy.
Idea of being in the air
at night, down in there. I'll commitment right now to do it, or just
me now. And then related to our show. So another
we look no
shirt in mythical. We're gonna get to a question your good comparison for
That's gonna ruin it.
the Gulf
In
of
the
Mexico.
Gulf,
Have you seen these videos?
they create a wave that then
Near that. Every
Yeah.
airport has free Wi-Fi, but it never works.
some thoughts like I have those. They're
Yeah.
just for me.
In a situation, you know, that's for me.
That
That's
involved thinking right now. Well, for us, that was about an ultralight truck. I know,
so
but
she doesn't want me to do anything like this.
but that's akin to like going on a helicopter. You were
On
still
Good
on that.
Mythical Morning.
Oh, okay. You want to push that. So
It-
shoes. Then you're like, one day I'm like, in terms of that dynamic of what
I
I
went to the Two Castles.
yeah.
I went to
I do not believe you would do that powered parachute, or just realize that you're not gonna do it.
idea of contact. We could have a lot of Amber and Anna moments.
So like for a silent retreat, I wouldn't want to go without somebody being there. It's like
Sail, and that's their YouTube channel. There's this, again, I don't know, it's this Australian couple.
Whopper, and what was the other one?
Right.
I've got the Rhett and Link Creative Shared Evernote.
Yeah.
Which we don't use that much anymore because of
Google Docs.
the sailing thing. That's quite. I
Take through to the other side of whatever happens in silence, and then you have to come back.
do that at the caverns. I think that's on my bucket list.
You've already been as the amazing.
Nor am I wearing shorts. When we did the initial round of the tour of Mythicality, we
World, Peru, and it's just I saw that on Earth yet.
okay.
But if you think if we slowly is the fact that we talked about them so many times in the middle of wanting to get to some point, and then they did their stuff, and then somebody said, "Hey, we're going to give you
Now I'm wondering, is there something else involving a saddle I could put on my bucket list
into the caverns."
during the show to ruin other people's experience? Like be filming and expect him to fly. It's like turning around a battleship. It's not.
Shirt, and then you kind of naturally, well, maybe I need to
Okay.
adjust. Like telling me that I'm insecure GMM,
But there's always
putting a horse at gallop.
yes. Why did I forget that?
Yeah, and I think that
Oh, more of a retirement. There's the Amazon store, and then there's Mythical.
dudes have basically
Like, was the year 2000 about the shared silent retreat afterward? But like having this tension build for 7.
who gets in someone else's bucket list. Be able to sit in a saddle when you do your biscuits, because I feel like in caves. Well, not Catalina, but
Oh,
not a lot of people interested in that. Apparently, basically crash landing, like hit a power line and then like crash landed, and nobody was hurt. Question that will lead us down the
Ooh.
inevitable rabbit hole.
Yes.
Tank top. Then the other of us would go tank top.
thoughts. But so
That's making out with Amber and Anna. I would definitely do it if you're working dramedy.
is that an
you watch-
adage though?
I've heard it die. Why does she have to
Again,
care?
You had talked me into Evernote a few years ago.
I'm still pretty big.
and
into
I
Evernote.
still use Evernote for like my personal note taking. Tell me about your silent retreat. I'll be like, man, I'll take your word for it.
volume. It made me think maybe I should have just the idea of just being able to sail up to an island.
Back of the lawn chair. That's basically, it's like if you really know somebody, you're like,
You have to do it once.
so you would do that. You would ride. You would do what we were gonna do.
Eye contact. So I think that it probably works for most incredibly unsecure. He was
I can't wait to.
alone around the world, which my wife says this is the epitome.
Maybe
Right.
that wasn't.
Die, because you're not gonna want to be like, this isn't a kissing Amber and
We go through things together, and then
passively.
There's a
few-
Twitter conversational traction.
Really going to be into surf. Chicama, Peru. But I might do the other one. Going off to your freaking silent retreat, loser. Generous description of what I'm picturing. But yeah, put it on right now. Put it on there. Situations where we
Right,
can both be
right.
on ultralight track.
There's like drone footage of this.
Bag. It's not a soundproof bag.
Well, I'm sure they've. I kind of.
Is unlocked. There's like a symbol and a sound that we put in post when we unlock something. So, would you do this with me? You've got somebody to talk about this stuff with. Remember the time? And then
Ear biscuit on Rhett's layers, like trucking along like a little train beside
bring some of that up,
a
Jacob.
person going. I mean, there's a shot.
Jicama's too big.
Feel a little self-conscious in the moment.
Yeah. Product that he was pushing.
Yes.
I'm in a green bathing
You
suit.
got me.
I'm on a red paddleboard. You're on there, and there's nothing. There's nothing down there. It's totally remote. And then there's again. They still doing it?
Hearing your bucket list, you are both very different people, so I wonder how they compare.
It's on the bucket list, and it's on the bucket list as fly an ultralight trike. And
Securing in all of our flight endeavors.
you know, if you listen to that original, something he was probably involved in, which is some app that you use on your
jump in there and say that
jump. They needed to get up there very, very quickly, and so they took a small plane, and so they had.
You're not gonna want to sail forever around the world. I mean, you
can't do that anymore.
You said that we would never do something.
I'd watch that.
Well, let's just say right now, you know what?
I also.
Did you see it? This is more embarrassing than being.
You gotta admire that. What about the RV?
I think that
what we have to do is when the kids are in college, they're in college, and the wives.
Kids aren't the.
Which, you know, that the idea was.
You're one of us now. I wouldn't want to go totally by myself because you use the saddle.
You ever eat at the Texas Steakhouse and Saloon?
Yeah.
He made eye contact.
Pretty cool too. I'll do that.
Okay.
I don't feel like I wouldn't die. You know, it's different.
People, I don't know who it was, bored. You look at me, now I'm strict or whatever, but I think.
Let me get this straight. Nothing off your bucket list.
I mean, that could probably be arranged in the next 5 minutes. Like we could be.
It sounds cold.
Yeah, you wear.
I could die on the horse though.
Full of ideas.
You have to win me over. You know this.
Never stopped making the cake. It was like 1:30 a.m. I ended up watching the whole thing.
Oh, on earth.
And when to see like sometimes when achievement, they're not going to want us to be around.
Which is kind of my point with us on the sailboat.
Really? And he'll just like fly to McDonald's and he's like doing commentary the whole time.
Oh wow.
And then he lands his name. But we wouldn't do that. We don't do that kind of thing.
No, it would.
They make it look so fun, man.
They do, don't they? So
about this, I remember we heard that Rivers Cuomo done. It was right outside of Dunn.
Had to go all the way to the crack capital of North.
Because of this, because this I didn't sign.
The joke's in reverse.
And Ed McMahon laughed.
I just want to have some planet Earth too.
Oh, and yeah, I'm about to break it out.
I do not believe you would do it.
What?
I do not.
Their childhood like you guys do. And I'm like, well, I don't know if that's ended.
Yeah.
Enjoying the heck out of that. And I was like, I'm gonna wait for it and watch Leaving and Embarrassed.
By the way, so if you're talking about something
like a backpack that has a fan and then they
lift, I could beat.
But and having somebody to share it with, in the way that we talk about those phones.
And you keep your phone, but they give you a pocket to put it in.
Yeah.
And then
there's Catalina, which has like a community, and you can go there. Look this up, Jacob, because I think what color's your board? Cream, off-white. Yeah, pretty much. It's basically a hang glider that has a place to sit underneath it and has a bucket list.
But we got plenty. I do want to add
that it's a crazy. If we did a live event and we told people to put their phones in a phone satchel.
That's my bucket list, man.
You gotta be really good looking though.
Now you're gonna buy.
I would include those powered parachutes where
economical and familial concerns.
I'm the one who saw
to us now.
Harris Lake. You know
nothing like that nuclear cruise. I want to ride a
guy on YouTube who I wish I could plug him, Mike, because of dudes just how like dudes. I'm
just for shock value.
Doesn't even have to be Christmas.
It would be nice that you want to buy that boat.
Bulls at a bar, fake bulls.
Ooh, that's tough. Let my wiener hang out.
Midwest or something. So he's out in kind of the country.
Ship or a partnership or whatever it is, like.
You know what a good name for that would be?
What? Now there's no way I'm happy, but
I'm
you're
not
saying
questioning.
that Ashton
was
selling.
No, and now I was just thinking about the fact that I got so into.
Great.
To hear this ear biscuit in its entirety and make sure.
Because this.
I think that you're going to relive a memory, and you're going to revisit
docs.
Yeah.
But the link personal, I thought about
pound. That's
the first one when you created the bucket list.
B.
So if you can address the safety any list you've got.
These dudes surfing this wave about exactly what? Because we don't know it.
Really?
I didn't want to see.
I saw Letterman. Let's do it.
The F it list.
Let's do it because when you F something, it's like F.
Policing the content that people were uploading.
Underneath.
Maybe we carry a bucket.
Oh.
Maybe we get bucket tattoos.
And
we brought some, what happened to you being there for at least some of them.
And I will say, if you haven't listened to that bucket
No,
list,
I'm just saying it's almost a interesting ringtone.
A lawnmower motor.
The logistics are difficult.
What if it's a quintuple whopper?
That seems like a pretty easy one to get to. Is that it's fine.
Specifically?
No. Sometimes you can just gauge interest on things.
Right. It didn't get
Adam Devine's penis multiple times, and it was not a prosthetic. Now,
it wasn't clear that's what had happened.
Look naked if I please.
And then we were thinking about doing it.
We'll never do full frontal nudity. There's a video. There's a dude. There's multiple dudes on YouTube. There's one islands off the coast of California. Like while we were talking, because this is something that's just been in my mental bucket list. Silent retreat.
When you do you do that?
See, and it's
over. I mean,
if your bucket runneth over.
I'll catch it. I mean, how do I know? Because you're wearing the shirts or drink.
I know. I
you can look that up on. You're like, I'm gonna put that.
You will come back to that because I just want to. Because I'm still talking about the same thing that we were talking about a second ago.
Oh,
and it's just like it's in me to be like, this is the coolest thing we've ever done.
And imagine Merry Christmas to us. You're like, what? Highly recommend Planet of the Earth 2.
Mm-hmm. I want to vomit cheese and crackers all over. That's probably.
One of our first LA, not first, but one of the Earth 2, by the way.
And was like, don't use.
Sure. You think he was? Did I turn your volume up by accident?
No, it's just when you touch the
reasonably attainable idea that it's like no. That's like an insult.
Yeah. Why? It'd be like that time I was kissing.
You're listening to us. Thanks for doing that.
That's what a bucket list is. It's a list, and you do it and you check it off. I'm not saying.
Well, how long? Ski transportation.
My heritage and like the McLaughlins, and they were like people of the walk around and turned all the way up, or there's an alarm that's going to go off, and now it's in a bag.
Got one.
I
went to that castle. Muir Castle. Now I will tell you, if I pulled out
stay at a castle,
and then like come into conclusions about the experience.
I react 'cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do I found a motive. I react 'cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do I found a motive. Easy getting fame these days since you do not need any talent. People try to take me down, but too bad there ain't no repellent. Divide myself count by 10, it'll get the IQ of all my viewers. Of all my viewers who are too retarded to watch real YouTubers. My vids contain of adding a little fucking cam screen, which 10-year-olds enjoy 'cause they don't have their own opinion. They're stupid and my minions got me over 1 million. This is the age of YouTube, no talent equals millions. Getting paid, get paid for nothing. If you're watching this right now, just turn on your cam. All you need is a fake smile to get them views and get all this money. Thank God that the world's retarded. I react 'cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do I found a motive. I react 'cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do I found a motive. It's so amazing you can grow up people's content. Lazy life I got it like this my fucking job, bitch. Resume on fleek, cunt. Your salary in 1 week, cunt. And it's not only me, cunt. No, there's 100 more cunts. Yeah, all I do is lay back, react to trending topics. Till I'm the trending topic, then react to my own vids and get 1 million more hits. Thank the Lord I got rich by all these stupid kids. I react cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do I found a motive. I react cause I don't have no talent. I react, it's easy, takes no effort. I react and barely show emotion. I react, when I do